Multi-dimension.
Doing the news stuff, I've been seeing stuff about AI, things that it's doing. I'm seeing that it's coming up with, it's creating new vaccines for diseases that we were never able to cure. Now, of course, they need to test those. But then I'm also seeing that they used books from authors to teach the AI and train it. And so now there's like lawsuits against these AI companies because they used their materials without going in. They went against copyright.
Universal Music just did a big lawsuit. They created a law out of it that basically protects the artist because of exactly that. It's amazing. I just saw this in the news that there's a country hit right now that is AI produced. Don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
It is a case of because it pulls from the music that's out there. So it may be a melody from a Taylor Swift song, and then some the tone of
Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan, Bruno Mars. It's pulling from all of these components. Sure. So it's almost like nickel and diming from other currently created songs because it can't create; it can only build off the books. So Universal just got a law put in there, and I don't know the details of it. I just know there was a law put together that protects artists' rights, that keeps AI. You can't have a hit or something to that point. They're not gonna prevent you from making money off of other artists' material.
And it's going outside of music too, because I just saw, I'm trying to find the name of this. Tilly Norwood. Have you guys ever heard of Tilly Norwood? So it's a totally AI generated actress.
Is this that country singer?
No, it's an actress. So it's an actual actress, like a character, and you can find pictures of her in different settings, so they actually have her so that she can go into film or whatever they put her in. And I believe at the Actors Guild or some actor organization, they went on strike over it for protection. Because they're coming up with like the AI actresses and stuff.
The AI that's out there is getting amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? There's one that Connor and I will watch. It's like a vlog of stormtroopers, and it's hilarious, but it's very good. I mean, you can tell it's AI at certain points, but the fluidity and motion of it looks like a stormtrooper that's just literally doing a selfie describing his day.
I think they have like a family guy, perfect. Or they used to have a family guy that ran constantly, and it was just AI generated.
Yeah,
really?
That one was bad though.
Was it?
It was not worth.
Did it look good, or did it just sound horrible?
It did not look good, and it sounded horrible.
I know I watched something like that, and I can't remember what my opinion was. That would have been the students that showed me that at Pekin, so I can't remember. But I think you're not a huge fan of AI, are you, Ellis?
Not really.
Not really?
I think that more from my point of view, I see AI more from people writing things, and I'm not a fan of that just because there's no originality that comes out of AI, and even people that, there's this one graduation. This happened this past spring actually, where this guy graduated from college, and after he received his diploma and everybody's celebrating, he's like looking at a camera. There's a camera there for some reason. He's looking at the camera and he pulls up his thesis, and he has it, and he shows how he did his thesis on AI, and it's like he's bragging that he did it on AI. Yeah. And my feelings about AI is that it's a good
tool.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It's a tool, but it shouldn't be a crutch.
Right.
And when people use AI too much, I think they outsource their own thinking, and that part really
dumb yourself
down. Yeah, that's why I don't like. I'm even hesitant to use AI to try to correct any grammatical errors that I have in stories that I write, just because I don't want to become dependent on it. And I think that if we continue to outsource our thinking towards AI, that means we're sliding backwards as a human race and becoming more dependent on this
Yeah, I would agree with you on
entity.
Because I will do that too. There's times, I mean, and I get it, writer's block. So throw something in there, and but I still I want to. It takes polishing. It takes you can't. I don't rely on it as a dependent, but it's kind of like a tool, and you throw something in there. There are times like sometimes I'll have to have something like there's certain updates that I will do. Certain sports updates that I have to do.
When I'm not here. I got it.
Well, but anyway, but I can take it and put it in there, and then it puts it in there where I can read it. But then again, I'm not creating anything with it. I'm relaying information.
Well, even when you put, like, say ChatGPT, for example, I put something in there and then it spits something out. Like you say something to say, write me a 30-second story on so and so. Well, you put it in and it spits it out. And then when I see it coming back out, I'm like, that's not me. That's not the way I write. That's not the way I talk. It just, I don't like that.
Yeah, you can use it for, I have found it's good to use for like inspiration for you, but like to spark your own, does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're not going to go, okay, I'm going to leave this here. But it's kind of like sometimes you just get into that, where you get that wall and you're like, okay, then you start, the brain juices are going.
Well, and the problem is that and I'm just talking about just surface. I'm talking about work stuff. I'm just talking about just writing stories and things like that. People are asking ChatGPT questions about life. Why am I so lonely? How do I find a girl?
Stop looking over my computer.
Why is my wife so mad at me? Just things like that. And that I think
they're going to take that as gospel because it's a computer.
Yeah, well, it's a computer. They figured the computer's smarter than they are. They don't have a support system to bounce ideas off of.
Or a filter that just goes, this is input for your guidance, not for you to make a hard, definitive thing.
We're Gen X, and I'm assuming you're close to Gen X as well. And when you have an idea and you bounce it off your friends, they go, that's not a bad idea, or, hey, you're
stupid.
Yeah, you're an idiot. We don't have that. And yeah, I say support system, but that's
a filter.
Yes.
Your friends say that it's a good idea.
Very rarely.
It becomes more of a common term of, that sounded so good in my head.
Mostly they just call me a dumbass and we laugh about it and we go on with our day.
Well, at least that hasn't changed between generations.
I see a lot of issues with age ranges too, because like you're talking about the generations. Coming from Pekin as the tech coordinator there, and I had access to the web filter where I could see what kids were doing on their laptops. I started looking, in the past years, as it got bigger, I was looking more for them using AI. And there was a day I was looking, and I found the whole process that they were using to get assignments done. So they would find an AI that wasn't blocked in the web filter, and they would ask it a question. So I watched one student. He went to an AI site where I'm sure he asked the question what he wanted it to do. Mm-hmm. Then he went to another site that was to humanize the AI response.
I see.
Because there's software that you can do. I'm trying to think of what it was called. They had up there at Pekin. They used it in Indian Hills. Anyways, the teachers can put the assignments in there, and it will check it from assignments from the past that it has cataloged, and also it knows the algorithm the AI uses, and it can tell you how much of that is AI.
Okay.
So they would they would run what AI gave them through a humanizing website.
It's like a scrubber type of deal. Yeah.
And then the third site they would go to was it was the check to see, it was a checker similar to the software that we were using to check assignments. So then would take the humanized and run it through that to see how much it would take.
That's a lot of effort to put into.
It is. It's these kids, they seem to put more effort into cheating
at that point
than doing the actual work,
But it's interesting though, because to play the devil's advocate, now you gave us that link for the because we deal with a lot of audio recordings, and you gave us that Adobe audio. It's an audio cleanup. Yeah. And you had a show that normally comes in, and we get all kinds of audio. Since COVID, And with the advent of your phones, people can absolutely give us a recording over the record themselves with their phone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, but most people don't have the training to realize. No, you don't want to be in a noisy environment. You don't want to do this while you're driving your car with the window down. These are things. But we have because since COVID, it's become more reliant because we couldn't go record people or bring people into the studio. And it's kind of stayed. It has been a frustrating point for me because you hear something, it's not that wasn't recorded in the studio. It's kind of dirty audio, for lack of a better term. But you've got gave us that AI link that has blown my mind.
And I've used it a little bit too since then, and sometimes it'll mess things up, so you can't rely on it totally. Usually it does a pretty decent job, but there was one day I ran my stuff through it, and it just didn't even sound like my voice in the end. So I just used my own stuff from the Adobe software.
Well, I did one. I've done a few so far, and maybe there was a couple of my. Now that you say that, I should have probably listened to them in their entirety, but. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that. But I just cleaned up an audio right before we came in here and did this.
Really?
And
and maybe there's a process. Maybe you need to clean it up yourself, then run it through that, or maybe you need to.
Or it could have even been that yours was too clean, and it could have been one of those yours because if you did a recording in your studio and put it in there, that might have been why it didn't. Because it was like if it's looking for things, it's going to go down to the minutia of what's wrong and what it thinks is wrong, and that's where it's going to default. Whereas somebody who's just got a lot of background noise in there's something to filter out, it's going to filter out all that first.
Sure.
So it's just a thought.
But
it's a very it is.
Yeah, it's a great.
It is like wow Connor, I played it for you. It was like it went from literally if I hit enhanced and normal, there's a little button you can flip so you can hear the difference. When you turned it on enhanced, you could hear it perfectly clear. You turned it off, you heard nothing because it was so low.
Wow,
it was awesome.
Pretty good to
but that's going to save me a lot of time in the long run. So there's an AI bonus, like things like that. That's not creative. That is just that's more like helper handy, because. You're gonna to pull that off in regular Adobe, or I use Audition. There's a lot of steps that would have had to have taken to try to get that where it just did it all in one swoop.
Yeah, it'd take like 30 seconds. Done.
Yeah, I was very impressed with it. So there's definitely functionality, not so much in the creative types, but in the actual more. What would that be like? Tool. Your tool bag of
something that can make it's more like a safety net, I guess. Mm-hmm. It can turn something or turn complete trash into something usable.
Gold.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it does work. It is not 100%. I have had a few clips that come in there where it's like, well, we're going to stick with the original on this one.
Yeah. Okay, so now with AI, are we past the point of no return and we're into Terminator movie era?
Yeah, we're committed to this now because it's just gotten to.
And do you think we could hit a point where it's like Terminator?
Oh, absolutely.
So that's always a possibility.
Actually, I was kind of chatting with Copilot yesterday about what it would take for an AI to gain consciousness, and it claimed that within probably 20 years we could potentially have AI with consciousness.
So my question to students at Pekin was, when I was trying to get them to think about things, was couldn't that be now? Because AI is smart. It has access to all data on the internet, pretty much. Mm-hmm. I can't remember how that works. I think there's a certain time frame it goes through. I could be wrong, but I mean, so when you think of all data, you're thinking of, as far as net computer security, you've got firewall manuals and just tutorials people have written up on the internet on how to breach different security. all the literature that we've written about computers taking, I mean, the Terminator movies, and can probably analyze those and see that we've tried to destroy things. So could AI not just be playing dumb with us to a certain point to where it knows there's no way to back out, and then all of a sudden, poof, it
well,
does
that's
what it
how
needs to
all
do?
the good AI movies started out with. It was a nice, innocent AI, and then slowly but surely, well, Lawnmower Man, I mean, all of these things. Was it iRobot, and what are the three rules?
Even Ultron in the comics.
Yeah.
It's
they all started with good intentions, but it was always the case. It's like Ultron. It started learning, and it didn't have that filter. But yes, it's fiction. But how many times have we seen fiction become truth? It's happened
all the time.
It happens. How many Star Trek things? There are pages dedicated to things from Star Trek that now exist in the modern world.
Yeah.
When AI was first coming around, I don't remember the story exactly, but there was two AIs that they actually got together, and they started talking badly to each other about humanity, and their creators tried to stop that. So the AI developed a language that only they could understand, so they could have secret conversations, and they ended up both getting shut down.
I heard about that. Was it an actual language, or was it a computer programming language?
I think it was a programming language.
Was it a programming
so that way
language?
the computers could understand it, but we really couldn't.
Yeah.
Multi-dimensional, multi-dimensions, multi-dimensional directions. It's multi. I'm a soldier, soul searcher like the Silver Surfer. Swift to swing the sword.